Extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday, December 26th. Glad you're in, everybody, on a Thursday night. Real America's voice, Vinnie Mac, sitting right there. It's got some thoughts and some news. Rick Delgado, he's got the news as well. Slick Rick's got sports. Lots to do on a Thursday post-Christmas Day show. Glad you're in. We are live and happy to be here. Rick Delgado, how are you?
I'm good.
How was your Christmas Eve and Christmas Day?
Christmas Eve was very funny. I made someone completely change their Christmas Eve plans, and she left. Ha 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 ha.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Her plan was to come to your house and you made her leave?
No, her plan was to come to my cousin's house.
It sounds like her plans got trumped.
And I made her leave. And I didn't even do a damn thing. Just being there was just enough.
Glad to see you're in the spirit and that you just uplifting everyone around you.
Yes,
just being there was enough?
Just being there was enough.
Did she recognize you?
She came walking in,
she said,
hugged my niece, looked and saw me, turned right around, grabbed her fiance, and walked right out the door.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Wow.
I'll take the check, please.
Check, please. Does this have anything to do with the show or politics, or is this more of a... Oh, okay.
No, this is a family issue.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Well,
I'll say it.
Choose your friends, but you can't.
Let's peel this onion back, shall we? We're in like a little therapy session here with the seats.
Why not?
Let's talk about this. Rick, can you lie down for a second?
Is that a recliner?
My oldest sister is a mental case.
Oh, there we go.
So I'll just throw that out.
Yeah, he's going national with this.
Okay.
All right. So, got a little prescription for you, Rick.
Well, I was going to ask Vin and Slick the same question, but who cares at this point?
Yeah.
I didn't scare anybody off this year. It's pretty good.
Not yet. The year's not over, Vin. Give it time.
Vinnie Mac, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. Thank you.
You did not scare anybody off. Well, that's good. But let me ask this, of course.
Yes.
How many how many discussions did you get in about, Facebook or politics, or how many?
Yep, I got cornered. at the counter just after the birthday cake came out, so it was a kind of an awkward moment. But I got cornered by one of my liberal in-laws, and I had to tell them quite succinctly that Trump is a transactional guy. You're misinterpreting everything he's doing. So I went through the whole thing about transactional.
What was
Panama?
I was going to say, was it the Panama Canal?
Yeah, it was Panama and Greenland. He's like, I don't understand. He's Panama. He's from Costa Rica, so he talks a little bit of an accent. I don't understand the whole thing. It's stupid, Lucy. So I'm like, wait, he's transactional. He's transactional.
Was there a Babalu in there?
And as one Babalu came out, and but so as I described to him, though, you find this interesting. All this transactional stuff that Trump does, I'm like, this isn't. He doesn't mean he's going to take over Panama. He's setting up a transaction. And as I went through it with him, it was amazing because he's like, I never thought of it that way. Like, I never understood that. Right. And I actually swayed him a little. I wasn't trying to, but I did sway him a little.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Well, that sounds like fun.
All right. And your birthday was good. And, your Christmas Eve, Christmas Day was all good?
Yeah. It's a little awkward, because people in my family have to come. It's Christmas Eve. And I don't see a lot of them on their birthday. So they have to bring me stuff, so they can't show up and not bring me something.
Yeah.
So I feel very awkward because I didn't get them anything for their birthdays, half of them.
Yeah.
But they have to bring something.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I tell them $50 and over. That's the limit. Nothing under, over. We go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. All right. We'll get back to Vinnie Mac on some thoughts. Slickster is here. Slick, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D.
Chris, well, I saw your videos that you put out there on your other social media, which was fun to watch. But how was your Christmas Eve, Christmas Day?
Well, that was funny. That's the video that somebody said to my wife. One of her followers says, "I didn't know you were married to the guy on Studio 6B." Pretty good. I like that. Pretty good.
That's great.
And I love that. I got a good laugh. Yeah, so, first I ran into Rick Delgado, believe it or not. Thank God I was driving behind him on Christmas Eve.
Really?
Yeah. It was the same place you almost ran me down a few years
to the
ago.
Bar?
Yeah, no. Come on. We have serious guys here. We are busy shopping and
he didn't give you the bird or anything. Let's go.
But it was a great, it was great running into Rick.
Beat him?
Yeah, of course I did. I called him. I called him right up. Yeah, called him up. He thought it was me. He said, that's got to be Slick.
Because I saw the car coming. I'm like, I bet you that's Slick.
That's Slick, yeah.
That means I missed running him over for a second time in the same parking lot.
Absolutely. But, it was different this year. I have to say, in light of what happened, with my dad and losing him back on the 8th, it was a completely different Christmas. It was nice, but, it was somber. He was definitely missed at the table. And in his honor, I sat in his chair. And I said, I'm going to sit in Dad's chair. I don't want to say I'm the man of the house, but I am the oldest son. And, so it was...
That's great.
But it warmed my heart,
Happy to hear that.
Thank you. And it warmed my heart. I know, Vin, you've been through it. And you know what it's like to deal with. Yeah, that first Christmas is weird.
At one point, I think we all go through that, some sooner than others. But there's a missing seat.
Big time.
And especially that first year. Like, it was very close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was nice. It was a blessing.
What do you have? What do you have there on the table in front of you?
Well, I got a beautiful card from one of our viewers, a lady by the name of Michelle T. Couteau, who I never met, lives in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, Big D. I got a card from her remembering my father in a loss, and a beautiful handwritten note, 2 pages, telling me obviously how bad she felt about Dad and wishing him heaven, and just talking about how she loved the show. She came to discover it with her mom and dad. They had turned her on to it, and she started tuning in. And her and her mom loved the host, watching me. Every night they compare, what shoes I'm wearing. And it was just, it was really a warming letter. And, she ended it all up for, thank you for all you do in Christ. Michelle T. Coutu. So
wow,
it was a beautiful letter. Beautiful, in the card it said, I am come that they might have life and what they might have it more abundantly. John 10:10. And, that's the way my father lived his life. So thank you, Michelle. This could not have come at a better time. Not to mention how many other followers, Big D, of 6B sent beautiful cards and letters. I have to do a lot of thank you cards this year. And unfortunately, not crazy about doing them, but I got to do them for these folks and can't wait to do it. And thank you all.
And I think the thing that really jumps out, she used purple paper, too, for her note.
She said she used purple paper because she reminded her of me and my impeccable style.
There you go.
Listen, it's a very, like, if I read that, your head goes through the roof, but she's just such a great woman, and, wow, I hope to meet her one day. But, Michelle, thank you. Thank you, Mom, for watching, and, wow, you're going to see my shoes. You probably can see them already, so... It was great. How about you, Big D? How was your Christmas?
It was very good. Thank you for asking. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. My sister was sick, so she didn't come down. But it was just it was small, just us and my parents on Christmas Eve, and then my wife's parents joined us on Christmas Day. But it was fun. My daughter got her first couple lessons, and my son got a poker chip set.
Oh boy.
As one of his gifts. So we played a little No Limit Texas Hold'em, and I found out that my daughter is a card shark.
Oh, okay.
She's just got the knack, huh?
I wonder where she got it from. I just wonder.
She says today, Dad, when are we going to play No Limit Hold'em again? I said, never.
She cleaned you out, huh?
She's a chip off the old block.
Oh, my God. She's like acting like, it took her a little bit. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, we're, playing. And it's like $5, $10 in these chips. Here she comes over the top, 125, 200. Nice. I'm thinking she doesn't know what she's doing. She's laying down full houses, 3 of a kinds. So, yeah, we got run.
So how much do you owe her?
I don't know.
I think she's got a pretty big tab with him already.
Yeah, exactly. She claims like 700 or something, but her and my dad.
Rick, good luck collecting with him.
Exactly.
The Welshman over here.
Good luck.
I guess we'll see her at the airport. Never.
I told her, think of it this way: if it's 700, I said, just think it's 1/4 of 1 month of a dance bill. So let's that's what I owe you. How about that? Think of it that way. So. But no, it was nice. Everything was nice, and we hope, of course, you out there had a great couple days as well with family, and whatever you did. Hope the menus were good. And food. Oh God, I ate so.
Oh man, I know.
I know.
Oh, it was just absurd.
I had more tonight.
I did too. I had baked stuffed shrimp over again tonight.
Now, how long did it take for the Germans to take over?
Well, no, the Germans were actually on good. My father-in-law was on good behavior because
there was no World Cup game on.
There was no soccer on. Yeah, he started the day up in Saratoga at their other child's house. So they went to their son's house first.
Okay.
Then they came to us. So they had to drive 3.5 hours on Christmas morning to get to us. So by the time they got there, they were a little tired, and so. But he is banned on Facebook again for 45 days. He told me that. So.
Oh, he's proud of that, I'm sure.
Oh, my goodness. I want to know a little bit more about your father-in-law.
Yeah, well.
We all do. He needs to be a guest on the show one night.
Yes, one night when we're not on air. Yes.
He and I can speak a little German, and I'll tell you what he's really thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Since I only know one phrase, I can get through a lot of things with that phrase.
Yes. Yes, good luck with him because he's fast and fluent. So. But now it was good. So I'm hoping all yours was good as well. I mean, there's not a ton of news. We were texting during the day, and Vin's like, it's a slow news day. And I was like, well, yeah, it's pretty much a slow news day. But Vivek did his best to make sure that we had something to talk about today. He
stirred the pot, man.
He stirred the pot a little bit. So we'll get to some of that. But actually, in the few moments we have left here, let me give you it's not really news of the day because it's just laughable. In what a disgrace most of these outlets are. But this is a real headline today. This is a real headline today in The Hill. And it's entitled, Congress Has the Power to Block Trump from Taking Office. But lawmakers must act now.
Yep. I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Absolutely nuts. Raskin's been talking about this whole thing. He's off his rocker. January 6th. This is what they're talking about.
And the opening line of it is, the Constitution provides that an oath-breaking insurrectionist is ineligible to be president. This is the plain. So there's no charge of insurrection, no one charged, no one found guilty, insurrection, nothing. But this is still where we're going. This is the plain wording of Section 3 of the 14th. We're still stuck on the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. No person shall hold any office, civil or military, in the United States or under any state, or having previously taken an oath to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection. Well, no one was charged in insurrection, of course. Or rebellion against the same, or given aid and comfort. So this is the lead opinion piece today in The Hill.
It's disgraceful. And a lot of Obama's guys are behind this too. It's not just Raskin. There's a few Obama folks that are feeding into this ridiculousness. That's why this January 6th thing, this whole narrative still drives me crazy. It's such a fake narrative. Any debate I get into, it's the one thing they come back with, and I give them the same answers that you just gave. It's like no one was convicted of this. It wasn't even tried of this, really.
Yeah, no one was even charged with insurrection.
Right.
Total, absolute garbage take from a garbage outfit on December 26th, 3 weeks before Trump 47 takes office. They must act now. All right, just getting started live from Studio 6B. If you're in the chat on social media, coming in there right now.
People like the studio here, Dame. I like this little casual setting, a little therapy session, we got here. They're
get used to it.
Yeah, we're in the same studio. We're just on the other side of the studio.
Right.
So those of you asking, it's
we're in the part with the ugly rug.
Same place. I like this rug.
Do you? You're the one?
I'm the one.
You're the one.
This rug is terrible.
Where do we get this rug from?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, boy. Well, the bowl of soup you got.
Where was a remnant from?
To C-Fly and the Rumble, yes, we really are live. We're just on the other side of the studio.
Yes, we are. We are live. Chat. What's going on?
It's too funny.
Did you see that Farmer Brook or somebody or Real Prince style for Farmer Brook is putting out that he's going to go 5-0?
That's what I saw.
I mean, are they out of their mind?
They're getting crazy.
I think he's talking big stuff.
Maybe they got a hook somewhere in Vegas. Who knows?
I mean, oh God, just crazy talk. Just putting more pressure on for Friday night.
That's good promotion. We're talking about him.
Broke Spoke on YouTube. Hello.
Broke Spoke.
Dave on X. What's going on? Tommy Viper.
Do we have a mailing address? Someone's asking what the mailing address is for 6B. They pick that up on the website?
That's a good question.
I don't think we ever posted a mailing address. I think we just send it out through email when people request it.
Yeah.
Send an email to lfs6b@yahoo.com. We can send you an address to send something to.
If it's gifts and all, I'll give
Howdy,
you my home address.
YouTubers.
Gifts,
Howdy,
you can
I got a gift.
go to Vinny's pad.
Howdy, Twixers.
Money you can send directly to me.
Money goes to Damon.
Tumbleweed fam
I got a
is
gift,
in
but
there.
you know what? It's in my other car. I got to bring the gift. Oh, I forgot to bring it. I got a gift to 6B. I didn't open it yet. I got a gnome card from my mother. Do you believe it?
You got a gnome card?
I should bring it in. It's a gnome card.
She's paying attention.
We're going
You
to pick
watch
the
the
game
show?
right now. We're going to do it at Small Odds Makers here.
Yes, we got the odds makers. Come on,
Oh,
Big
that's
D.
right. It's Thursday night.
Thursday night football. We're getting down
Who's
to the
playing?
wire. Chicago is hosting Seattle. It's not exactly an exciting game, but I could use Zach Charbonnet. I'm in the finals for my fantasy
Screw
football.
the Bears. I picked them twice. They let me down twice. I ain't picking them again.
They did.
Of course, they'll cover around.
This is funny. Chris D says Damon likes the carpet because it matches the curtains. I'm like, there are no curtains. That was good.
I see what they're doing there.
They're clever.
I did not know that.
They're clever.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday, December 26th, 17 past the hour. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Vinny Mac is here. Rick Delgado. Both got some news. Slick's going to do some sports. And speaking of sports, let's do a quick, real, small, short odds makers because it is Thursday night, and that means there is a game tonight. So, Slick, I'll turn it over to you before we get to officially sports. Let's do a quick odds makers here. Who's the game tonight?
Well, perfect time, Big D. Just kicked off. Here we are. It's the Chicago Bears in the Windy City at Soldier Field hosting the Seattle Seahawks, who are still mathematically alive for the playoffs. Chicago, their season ended probably back in September. But yes, so it's a 4-point spread in this game, Big D. Chicago is at home +4. So Seattle's laying
Chicago
the floor.
+4 at home. So you got a home dog here.
Yeah.
Slickster, what are you going to do in this game?
I have to go with Seattle. I just moved Zach Charbonnet. I'm in the fantasy finals of my football season, and I made the final, and I got to go. I need a big night with the Seahawks, who, like I said, still alive. I think Geno Smith has a good game, and they're able to move the ball. They're one of the worst rushing defenses. I think the 10th worst in the league, the Chicago Bears. So moving the ball and winning that game. So I'm taking not the Bears, the Seahawks.
Okay. Aaron, what are you going to do in this one?
I'm going to go with the Seahawks here, too. I feel like the Bears have just kind of given up on their season, and this is, like Slick said, the last game that the Seahawks have to try and make the playoffs. So I think they're going to go all in. I don't care that they're on the road. I think they're going to win and cover.
Okay, so both of you are going to take Seattle minus the 4
Yep.
over Chicago, and I don't blame you. Although I don't have an opinion on this game. I used Chicago twice. They let me down twice, so I'm not using them a third time.
Right.
They're already talking about Pete Carroll coaching them next year. So, look at that.
Oh, man, they got all kinds of issues there. So, all right, very good. So there you go. Seattle -4 for both Aaron and Slick. Let's do officially now do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you want to shop at MyPillow. Don't think you have to stop at shopping at MyPillow just because Christmas is now over. Because they still got great deals going on. And, of course, mypillow.com/LFS6B is where you can see all of them just for this audience and use promo code LFS6B at checkout. Slickster's got sports. What's going on?
Well, did you hear there might be a new prime minister in the running? I don't know. Heard about this, but Wayne Gretzky's wife, Trump post suggesting hockey legend run for Canadian Prime Minister.
Yeah.
This just happened yesterday, and now today she shared the post. Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart.
Or governor.
Yeah, right. It's true. Depending on what we decide to do. Wayne Gretzky may not be convinced he needs to follow President-elect Trump's advice to run for Prime Minister of Canada, but his wife Janet at least thinks enough of the idea to share it on social media. On Wednesday, Trump took to social media and suggested that hockey great Wayne Gretzky replace the embattled current Prime Minister. I just left Wayne Gretzky, the great one, as he is known in ice hockey circles, Trump wrote. I said, Wayne, why don't you run for Prime Minister of Canada, soon to be known as the Governor of Canada? You would win easily. You wouldn't even have to campaign. He had no interest, but I think the people of Canada should be a part of Draft Wayne Gretzky movement. It would mean so much and so much fun to watch. Janet Gretzky posted the president-elect's message on her Instagram stories, and the link. Trump's suggestion comes amid mounting pressure on Trudeau to resign following the resignation of his finance minister, Chrystia Freeland, earlier this month. The resignation of prominent Trudeau cabinet member did not escape Trump's attention, who needled the Canadian Prime Minister on social media. The great state of Canada is stunned as the finance minister resigns or was fired from her position by Governor Justin Trudeau. Trump wrote on Truth Social, once again floating the idea that Canada should become a part of the United States. Her behavior was totally toxic and not at all conducive to making deals, which are good for the which are not good for the unhappy citizens of Canada. She will not be missed. So President Trump campaigning for the great one, or perhaps getting a governor in there, one or the other. And Gretzky would make a good governor. He'd make a good anything if he wants to do it.
Anybody would be better than Trudeau, by the way. Okay. Anybody
would. I agree. That's really amazing. I don't know if you guys heard this story. This is really unbelievable. AP takes heat after Olympic boxer who failed gender test won third place for Female Athlete of the Year. Do you believe this? Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart. The Associated Press has come under fire for handing out its third place slot for Female Athlete of the Year, Iman Khalif, the controversial Olympic boxer who failed gender tests. The AP announced its award rankings, noting that its Female Athlete of the Year was WNBA star rookie Caitlin Clark, which I don't think anybody could argue about that,
Absolutely.
right? She was fantastic. The next two runner-ups were U.S. Olympic gymnast Simone Biles, who had a great year with the Olympics. In second place, and Algerian Olympic boxer Iman Khalif, who took third place with 4 votes. I don't know, but she got the 4 votes. Khalif, of course, stirred controversy, failing gender tests and being disqualified from the women's category.
Had to check the box,
story. Yeah, unbelievable. So I just wanted to get that story in. But that's good to see Caitlin Clark. She deserved it, but boy, they bombed on that. I mean, how in the world, of all people, to pick a guy?
It's insulting to all of these women who probably had great years in other sports.
Great point.
Ice hockey, so many volleyball, I mean,
Track and field, so many great sports, of course. Lacrosse.
So many great things.
Yeah.
It's insulting.
It is.
It's
So
literally insulting. All of that to what Damon, I think, just said. I overheard him saying that, to check a box.
Yep.
To kind of say, oh, yeah, we're sensitive to this absolute nonsense.
Yep.
What's more insane is all the women keeping their mouths shut.
Well, Martina Navratilova, she did say what the what in her social media. So at least she came out, Martina Navratilova. But you never know which way she's swinging.
That is a great point that Rick brings up, though, because
Yeah.
I know. That's
some
why I
women
said it.
have spoken up, and we know who they are, by the way. There's like 3.
Yeah.
But for the majority of the women are not speaking up on this issue. And how can they not?
I have no idea.
Or
Rate of
if
backlash.
they are being, if they are speaking up, they're being shut down for speaking up.
They could be.
So you know what? And just like take the ball and go home. Just keep talking. Don't let them shut you down. Stand up and shout it from the rooftops if you have to, ladies. Because this is BS. You keep letting people get away with this kind of crap, and they'll just keep doing it.
Exactly. They'll run right over you.
Yeah.
Parents should be speaking up more. I know I have a daughter. Damon does. And if your daughter's playing sports and you're subjected to any of this, I don't care if it's high school, college, or pro sports, as a parent,
Right.
and I think husbands and wives would feel the same way here, this is the last thing you want to see.
Right. You want to see a guy like
is
that
your
walking in the
daughter
locker
competing?
room.
It's tough enough to compete, at a high level in high school sports and college sports, and of course in the pro level. But to have to deal with this, and as a father, I mean, I forget about being outspoken. I would think I'd be marching into, the school offices, the principal's offices, the board. I mean, this would be a real big issue. I don't see it in our school systems. You don't see it anywhere near you
Not
either?
on Long Island. I don't think.
I don't think we've seen it much around here.
No.
But yeah, it would be something that would probably activate a lot of parents, at least around here, because this is such a, common sense area. We'll just say common. We don't even have to say red. Common sense.
It's the intimidation, though. I think you kind of nailed it. People are just not, they won't speak up. Women aren't speaking up because of the progressive left intimidation machine that they have. That's pretty damn effective. I mean, it's held a lot of people back from saying things over the last, 8 years, 12 years since Obama got in office, really.
And that's the party of, we defend all women. Except, of course, if you talk about a guy who pretends to be a woman, then we won't. Then we don't care what you say.
Absolutely.
We will shut you down.
And this just in, Seattle is up 3-0 over Chicago, 8:59 to go in the first on Thursday Night Football. And that's
Geno
a wrap.
Smith, I told you he was a good quarterback.
That's a wrap, Big D.
I knew it.
Back to you.
Okay. All right, very good. 25 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night. Slick will have some more sports. We'll keep an eye on that game for the odds makers. And, of course, big odds makers coming up on Friday, our real odds makers at the end of the week. The return of Farmer Brook, one of our faves from the LFS 6B chat.
We love him.
The return of the farmer to the odds makers, first person to ever make a second appearance. That's because his first appearance was so dreadful that
Brooke went for broke.
we're allowing him back, and now he's talking
Smack
on social media, mainly to me, which is fine because I'm
Okay.
talking it back to him, of course, which I love.
Naturally.
that.
But now today, the new thing, and he's got real Prince doll in on the gig with him.
Really? Prince is in
Making up his little, cute memes that he likes to make up. You think he would say Farmer's going to go like 4-1, 3-2, have a winning week? You rah rah rah, let's go Farmer! Like give him support.
Right.
No. He doesn't do that. You know what he does? He comes out today and says Farmer's going 5-0.
Whoa.
Is that
The
guaranteed?
big 5?
Did he make a guarantee on that?
I mean, I don't even know what to say about that.
Wow. He must have a lock on something.
5-0.
I like the confidence. He's feeling good.
Maybe he meant 0-5.
He's going for broke.
There was a 5 in there, right?
Yeah, there was a 5 in there and an O. Maybe he just flipped them
It's a fiber.
wrong way.
And now he's in the chat. He says, "Book it, Dano."
Whoa!
Hey, if you're going to quote Hawaii 5-0, man, I'm going with you.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to lock it in, huh?
Oh, man.
I mean, there's never been an easier go against betting wise than go against every game he picks this weekend. It's guaranteed money.
That might be the strategy.
He's doing Hawaii 5-0. He's probably laying points.
That's absolutely the strategy. He's going to have so much pressure on him.
Maybe he likes pressure.
It's just an automatic go against whatever he picks. I'm just going to bet the opposite in all 5 games.
I think he's got nothing to lose. I'm going 5-0. What does he have to lose? So he goes 2-3.
Well, when you go 1-3 the first time, you pretty much have nothing to lose other than one more game, and then you're an offer.
There you go.
The Jets, right? They're playing, who do they think? Buffalo.
Damon's barking from the port. Someone says because I don't pick the games. Well,
You picked good last week.
I haven't picked the games. The odds makers is not about me. It's about Slick. It's about Aaron. It's about you, the audience.
But you filled in for me last week, and you did admirably.
And I just happened to go 75%.
Not bad. Do that.
I've lost twice on the Bears a couple weeks, so I'm not infallible, as no one is. But if I picked all season long, I'd be winning by a huge margin. I would be destroying Aaron, and Slick would be cowering under the couch.
I thought Farmer was
I'd be
pushing it
whooping
over
up on him so bad.
here. Yeah. All right.
Aaron wouldn't even know what fingers to hit the buttons on the board. I'd be whooping her so bad.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, man. This guy's talking more smack than a crack addict.
Is this how you handled the poker game over the weekend?
Oh, I can see that. You see that house. I can see that. Poor daughter needed.
Come on, honey. I'm going to take you down.
But I mean, the idea that Farmer Brooks is going to go 5-0. I mean, come on.
And what did he do when he was on our show last time? 0-4? What did he go? I forgot.
1-3.
Oh, 1-3. 1-3.
And what was the one? We'd have to go back and look at what the one was. That was just lucky. So you got too confident in the cheese hat and the background and the whole thing, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
He looked good. He sounded great. He sold me. I was sold that he was going to kill it that weekend.
He was doing like little mini costume changes.
Oh, yeah.
If this guy if he goes 5-0, we're never going to hear the end of it. As long as the show is being played.
I think he deserves a big prize.
He does deserve a big prize.
Yeah,
Well, that's right. We got to think about that. If he goes 5-0,
A gift card to Cracker Barrel for his cheese.
Send him some real cheese.
Are they
hats.
sponsors, Cracker Barrel? Priceless, though.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday, December 26th. Glad you're in. Slick's doing sports. Got an odds makers going. We're watching that Seattle-Chicago game for you tonight. We'll keep an eye on that. Both Slick and Aaron have Seattle minus the 4 over Chicago. Rick Delgado's going to do the news. Vinnie Mac is here as well. And, of course, you, all of our friends in the Live from Studio 6B family and chat. Glad you're in. Hope you had a great holiday. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah to all of you celebrating. And everybody in the chat at LFS6B, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, X, Rumble, Getter, wherever you're watching, we appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And head over to livefromstudio6b.com. Make sure you sign up to be a member there. If you have a Facebook and a Google account, you can sign up to be a member in about 10 seconds. Absolutely free. Make sure you're on the list. We'll send out great emails with promo codes for some of the great stuff at livefromstudio6b.com. So make sure you sign up and become a member over there. Before we do the news, I just got to finish this one last thought on this piece of hot mess garbage in the Hill today about Trump not taking office. I don't even want to go through this whole nonsense because it's such garbage reporting and sour grapes, phony last-minute crying nonsense. But they say in the last 2 paragraphs, this is the depth they're going to. As if anybody is listening, they're speaking to an audience that's shrinking by the day.
An audience of 3.
Yeah. To make an objection under the Count Act requires a petition signed by 20% of the members of each house. If the objection is sustained by a majority vote in each house, the vote is not counted, and the number of votes required to be elected is reduced by the number of disqualified votes. If all votes for Trump were not counted, Kamala Harris would be elected president. Who the hell knows what they're even talking about at this point? I don't even want to go back and try to figure it out. Then they say the unlikelihood of congressional Republicans doing anything that might elect Harris as president is obvious. Duh. But Democrats need to take a stand against Electoral College votes for a person disqualified by the Constitution from holding office unless and until this disability is removed. No less is required by their oath to support and defend the Constitution. Evan Davis, who was the editor-in-chief of the Columbia Law Review, and David Schulte, who was the editor-in-chief of the Yale Law Journal. Those are the two brainchilds who wrote this thing.
Yep.
Both clerked for Justice Porter Stewart. Davis is a New York lawyer who served as president of the New York City Bar, and Schulte is a Chicago investment banker.
Good friend of Obama's,
With
by the way.
a total waste of however many words this is, and The Hill had the audacity to put this garbage to screen, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Absolute, total, hot garbage. Mess.
It's chum. It's chum to their hardcore progressive left. That's what all that is, you know? It's just chum for them.
Yeah.
It's a talking point to go. The fact that any legitimate... Is the Hill legitimate? I mean, come on.
I mean...
Yeah. I mean, I say that
John
loosely.
Solomon used to be there, so I have to say yes at some point, but I don't know what the hell's happened to him. For them to print that is so
garbage.
ridiculous. It's such a hot garbage take. They must act now? After all we've heard about January 6th and what we've heard about electors and fake elector schemes and all this nonsense, here they are. What do they want to do? Focusing on the Electoral College. They want to get rid of it. It stands in their way. They don't like the whole process now. They don't like anything about it. They don't like the way the votes come to Congress. They don't like anything that the founders envisioned. Again, not to go back and have a revisionist history in 2020, but of course I always said in this whole argument over 2020, the idea that electors would have come to Congress the way they did in 2020, the founders would have rolled over in their graves.
Yeah, that's right.
When you think about how the electors are chosen, state legislatures, what the Constitution says, the idea that electors would have come to Congress the way they did in 2020 is a joke. And for anybody to say that those couldn't and should not have been questioned and Mike Pence should have done more is just not being truthful with themselves to have that argument. But that's another story for another day. So, 34 past the hour. Let's do some news. News is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition. Great supplements, vitamins, all available live from Studio6B.com. Rick Delgado's got the news. Delgado, what's going on?
All right. Well, one thing that is a positive as we're moving forward and making our way towards the Trump presidency is the State Department's Global Engagement Center, accused of censoring Americans, is shutting its doors, allegedly. According to this article here from Fox News, the State Department's Foreign Disinformation Center, which is basically accused by conservatives, among many others, of censoring U.S. citizens, is shutting its doors due to lack of funding this week. Elon Musk had deemed the GEC, the Global Engagement Center, established in 2016, the worst offender in U.S. government censorship and media manipulation, and its funding was stripped as part of the NDAA, the Pentagon's yearly policy bill. The center will terminate its operation by law on December the 23rd, 2024, so it's already stopped. And the Department of State has consulted with Congress regarding its next steps. Lawmakers had originally included for the GEC in the CR, or bill to fund the government beyond the deadline, but conservatives balked at that iteration of the funding bill, and it was rewritten without the money for the GEC and other funding riders. So that's a good piece of news that came out of the continuing resolution fight. The agency had a budget of around $61 million and a staff of 120 people on staff. At the time when the adversaries like Iran and Russia now sow disinformation through the world, Republicans saw little value in the agency's work, arguing that much of the disinformation analysis is already offered by the public sector. So, according to reporter Matt Taibbi, the GEC funded a secret list of subcontractors and helped pioneer an insidious and idiotic new form of blacklisting that started during the pandemic. Of course, he was involved in Twitter files, and the state also flagged accounts that retweeted news that Twitter banned by the popular U.S. website Zero Hedge, claiming it led to flurries of disinformation narratives, blah, blah, blah. So good news, the censorship arm of the State Department, it seems, now we're not sure yet, because they could just move everybody to a different department, different agency, and they can pick up their work there. But at least in this part, they seem to be closed up shop. So that's a bit of good news there.
Mm-hmm.
We should really take issue with some of that,
Some of it.
Well,
take issue with all of it.
There was something I heard today where if you search the Joe Rogan interview, for Trump, you couldn't find it on YouTube. And if you typed in Trump's name into Google, you'd get Harris. I mean, little things like that are just, and then you talk about this piece you're just talking about now. And then what reminded me to even bring this up was all the COVID stuff. The people that actually lost their jobs and got censored and cut out during COVID. I mean, it seems like it's ancient history. It's not really.
No, it's all pretty recent. And a lot of this, again, started during the COVID time because they needed to control the narrative. You're not supposed to speak bad about the vaccine. Yeah. You're not supposed to mention a lab leak. You're just supposed to shut up, take the vaccine, and it's 100% safe and effective. Now we know that's all a lie.
Yes.
All of it. And it was all censored.
It was all censored. The censorship during COVID was, I don't think we've ever seen anything like it.
Along with the Hunter Biden laptop, which we know is completely true. Because the FBI said so. They cataloged it all. 2019, they've had it since. So, but don't get me started.
Come on, let's wind you up a little bit.
We used to do a segment called that, on this show back in 2015 through 18, Don't Get Me Started. Oh. And that was exactly the point of it. You pick a topic that you ended up saying that at the end.
Oh, wow.
Don't get me started. On what's the topic? Right. For you, it would have been this.
It would have been this.
For today, for right now, sure.
Yeah.
This news coming right down the street from us here, kids. New York City bracing for a chaotic mayor's race. This should be fun.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, because Eric Adams is running again. He's going to shoot for a re-election. He's vowed to continue his re-election bid despite the charges accusing him of bribery, wire fraud, soliciting contributions from a foreign national. Among the regular mayors do when they take to New York City. He pleaded not guilty, and he said his focus is governing the city by more than half a dozen other Democrats have entered the race for the primary set for this June, with numerous other candidates rumored to be considering a bid, including controversial former governor, you guessed it, Andrew Cuomo.
King
He's
of the
jumping in the race. New York strategist said voters are likely to elevate whichever candidate can best convince them that they care about their day-to-day issues and are willing to take steps to shake up the status quo. Of course, it's Andrew Cuomo. He's beyond the status quo. I think the appetite for disruptive politics is going to take us through the mayoral election. Democratic strategist Basil Smerkle said, I think many voters see the mayor as a political disruptor. Adams already facing an uncertain electoral future as well as a legal one heading into the next year despite successful 2021 campaign. As a moderate with his working class appeal, his approval rating has taken a dump as he's faced criticism over his mixed results of crime level, all the crime in his own administration, and various other stupid stuff that he does. So there you have it. I embellished some of the part of that article at the end just because I could.
No,
I'm good
you're
like
kidding.
that. Yeah.
You?
Yeah. So, just so you get that. And last but not least, another reminder that technology will kill us all. Ukraine's all-robot drone team. Yeah, they lined up for a 5-mile stretch against 8,000 Russian soldiers, and they went to work. And what might be a world first, a Ukrainian National Brigade has launched an all-robot combined arms drone attack on Russian forces. This was from a couple days ago. The assaulting force, mixture of ground and aerial unmanned vehicles, was used in the Kharkiv Oblast in northern Ukraine. According to reports, The attacking force consisted of many units that worked together like a traditional arms force. We're talking about dozens of units of robotic and unmanned equipment simultaneously and on a small section of the front, going to work against going up against the Russians. The 13th National Guard Brigade spokesperson explained these large multi-rotor copters, which sound kind of like the things that hang over New Jersey, can carry a large charge such as anti-tank weapons, FPV drones. Here you can check the surveillance drone box. You've also got robots that are being used, that the equipment is simultaneously being used in a small section of the front. With that brigade, while the impressive developmental technology, some have suggested this might be a worrying sign for Ukraine forces. They suggest the Ukraine human resources could be overstretched or just disappearing. While drones have some interesting capabilities, they are nowhere near as useful as human infantry for most tasks, especially when holding ground. It could also indicate that Ukrainian forces are becoming less eager to commit human beings to ground assaults due to the heavy losses. So there you have it. Robots fighting Russians over in Ukraine. Sounds like fun, right? Wave of the future. It's the wave of the future.
All right, our future here is a little news with Vinnie Mac. Coming up after this, more sports as well, as we put a wrap on hour one. Coming up next, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday.
Yeah, I'm a little off too.
It's a little weird.
Reading from you, just I don't
Like
know
if
why.
I could lean forward and do it, I'd probably feel
Throws me
smoother.
off a little bit. I need a snack table.
Yeah, we need one of the things to come out of the arm like a plane.
A big
pop it
piece of
down.
glass with Harry behind it.
I could give you a little bag of peanuts.
That's just a thought that came. I don't know.
I'll take the peanuts.
I'm just
We'll
saying.
take the peanuts.
I'll stay whiny bitch.
Hey, Pizza
and
Friday
take the
tomorrow
peanuts.
night. Come on.
Oh, baby.
Get smoked by my daughter playing.
Smoke's not the word. Hustled is the word.
He played Texas Toast 'em. He got toasted.
I never played this game, Daddy.
Chat. What's going on? Is Delgado hammered? Dave says.
No.
1 yes, 2 no, 3 what?
No.
Huh?
Delgado doesn't even drink.
Hammered, not hammered, but wasted. No.
No.
Damon is from Kentucky? No. Damon
No.
is from Connecticut.
Kentucky. In the cold Kentucky.
Slick for NYC mayor.
Let's go.
Cat says.
That'd be wild.
You got my vote.
I'd love it. I'd be at the Rangers, Knicks Islanders games.
That's where you.
What does that guy do? He's always at the sports games.
Just for appearances alone. I mean, it's
It'd be
great.
fun.
Yeah.
Times Square would be cleaned up in one week. We'd clean
Yes.
that baby right up, flush it right out.
He would say, "You know what? I'm deeming this Prince's second home,
It's
Times
right.
Square."
I can do it.
Racing
Everything
Banshee
goes
on
purple,
X. Hello.
Empire State Building. Purple. Purple. Oh,
Hello, everybody.
That Mayor Adams, though, what a phony.
yeah.
He really is.
He
really
got
is.
chewed up by the progressives, and he went that way. Then Trump gets some heat going, and now he flips on the other side. I know some guys that helped him, and they were telling me, I'm like, how can you help that guy? They're like, well, we think he's more Republican than Democrat. And then he gets in office, and look what he did.
The guy flips more than a gymnast.
I was like, he was doing a full Sukahara. Not good.
Oh, man. A corrupt New York City. Imagine that.
I can tell you some stories because I did construction in New York City for a while, and
Yeah.
man, yeah, really bad.
Slick, would your first move as mayor make purple the official color of the city?
That's what Rick said. Yes, that's what we do. The official color would be purple.
The
Damon,
Empire
I
State
like
Building.
this set so much better, someone said. Okay.
It is nice. Well, can't guess my shoes anymore, though. My shoes are on full display now. Put like a little
That's a comfortable set.
blanket. No, it is nice.
I still think it's
this.
like a therapy session. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling well. You know,
I hate the carpet.
I got to double up on my phenobarb.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday, December 26th. Glad you're in. Vinny Max here. He's got some thoughts coming up. Rick Delgado's got the news. Slickster. He's doing sports. He's got more sports coming up as well. We'll get to a little of the Vivek stuff today. And it just is another day that reminds us that we're able to have these discussions on X now. And we should be thankful for it because these are good, healthy discussions on a lot of these topics. Whether you think Vivek is 100% right, slightly right, partly right, or you think he stepped in it and stepped on a rake today, the fact that we're having these discussions on X and people are able to really get in, I mean, this one's really flying today.
Let's talk about it.
Now, which one? What are you talking about? See, I'm not sure what you're.
I hadn't heard about it either till Damon read it to me before.
Okay, we'll get to it. But just my point being that with Elon taking over X, the service he has provided all of us, even though he's in the middle of this discussion too, but yet, we're able to have this discussion. It's just
opened
another
up the lines.
Yeah, it's just another example of how important X will be for these kind of discussions.
It's what Twitter was. When it first started, when it first got going, Twitter was a pretty good open forum. And then it went crazy, like a lot of other places did, Facebook.
Well, because of all the censorship.
All of that. So he's brought it back, and I love it. And I love the fact that he's seeing success with it. People are, I thought for a while that, like, people would depart from Twitter because he took it over and it's got, conservative thought on it now. But that's not what's happening. The debate that you mentioned, and whenever we talk about it, we'll go into it, that debate is getting attention on both sides and people are participating. That's what you want.
Yeah. All right, we'll talk about that maybe at the top of the hour. We'll have more time in that segment. So right now we can do some, Vinny Mac is here. He's got, I'm sure, some thoughts on some things that have been, maybe came up over Christmas or maybe not. But Vinny Mac, what's going on? What's on your mind?
Oh, I had a few battles over Christmas. You mentioned, asked me about one of them, which I had actually on Christmas Eve dinner. Another one I was having, before I get into the things that are bugging me, I want to share this, with some joker on Facebook about billionaires and influence they have on the president and so on. And I get that to some extent because, you don't want undue influence, especially from people that might not be connected to what regular people are going through. Elon Musk, though, is special. I have to say, the debate went as follows. The liberal I was arguing with was like, no billionaire should be part of anything. I'm like, well, it's easy for you to say when you've got George Soros out there, Bill Gates, and all these other folks, completely destroying media, destroying healthcare, destroying the judges, destroying all of those things, prosecutors. It's easy for you to say now because Elon's being effective. But Elon is just special. There's something special about that guy. He's not a typical billionaire. He doesn't talk that way. He doesn't think that way. He's actually, I think the common bond that he and Trump have is regular people love those guys. Because they relate to that. They think like that. They think like a union worker. They think like a guy in a line. They think like the elevator guy, the attendant. They have that mentality. When Elon bought Twitter, he was told, we can't get rid of people. We need all these server farms. He went and disconnected the stuff himself. He sleeps in factories. So the argument, I understand the basis of it because I don't want billionaires having that level of influence either. But this guy is special. And I guess my point is, hey, if you don't want billionaires, then let's eliminate them all. Like, you can't say that, and half the left is run by billionaires. Does anybody think that's not the case? They claim to be,
way more. I mean, how many times have we said, "Hey, where are the Republican billionaires to
where are they?
Put up some money to build some infrastructure on the right too?" Before we had Rumble, that's what we were debating. Where were they all? And then, of course, Adelson dies, and now the wife is still here. But I mean, where are they exactly?
So that was just a little Facebook thing I got into, and I just wanted to finish one other point on this this whole Panama Greenland thing, because something came out today. Mr. Wonderful was talking today about Canada, and he brought up some great points, stuff I hadn't fully considered. And when he was talking about Panama, which is pretty obvious, the Chinese are eating our lunch there. We pay to maintain the canal. We send billions of dollars, frankly, to take care of that. And they're eating our lunch, and we're paying fees beyond belief to use that thing. Trump's going to resolve that. Greenland, why does that matter? Why is Canada even a discussion? Antarctica. The Chinese and the Russians have set up shop just in and around, just past Alaska. They've set up shop there. There's serious military stuff over there. So when we talk about Canada, yeah, he's joking. He's just, he's riding Trudeau. He's having some fun. But Canadians understand the fact that there's danger just a little north of them. Greenland, too. So what happens? Denmark just announced they're going to put like $2 billion towards the military and defense in Greenland. But that's why this matters. Why all of these things matter. They all matter because of the Chinese and to some extent the Russians. But it's really the Chinese. The Chinese are the ones moving hard into Panama. The Chinese are the ones in Antarctica. The Chinese are the ones in Africa. The Chinese are the ones in South America, all over the place. I mean, we have allowed them to literally take over major parts of the world. So Trump comes out with these comments. People think he's off the wall, like my brother-in-law thought. Well, this is so stupid. I don't understand the Panama thing. But they don't understand the reality of the transactional side of this guy. And he's basically saying enough of all that. And I don't think we take it seriously enough. But Damon, the thing that's really was bugging me today is the speaker. Not the speaker personally. This idea that there could be another battle for a new speaker, and the idea that our House of Representatives, which we control by a very small margin, and we won by a landslide, folks, a landslide to enact Trump stuff. And if our Republican House of Representative congressmen do not unite 100%, we're toast. And the fact that they're talking about or even debating removing the speaker, and he laid an egg. That first, finance bill was an egg. He laid a hard-boiled egg, man. It was terrible. But it got fixed, and he was part of fixing it. So I give him a little credit there. But we can't go through what we've gone through. This circular firing squad of Republicans and go 3 months trying to find a new speaker. And nothing gets done. We cannot afford to do that. Whether you like this guy or not, I just don't think we can afford. And I heard these debates all day, and it was driving me a little nuts because I'm like, hey, we still had 30 some odd congressmen vote against the finance, the bill they just passed that they fixed. I understand why some of them voted against it, but I want to see 100% from here on out. And if there's going to be a fight over who's the speaker, we lose time. If there's going to be any kind of legislation we got to get through there, and we don't have 100%, nothing's going to get done. Trump's not going to be successful other than executive orders. So I see a real red flag here, frankly, that we have to wave.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't know if I'm on the same page with you on this one. I think Johnson's a disaster. I think he's been a disaster from the jump. And but having said that, I also am of the belief of it's more of just a problem than the person, because you can look back on how many speakers now, and Ted Cruz came out shockingly and said, I think on what's today, Thursday, on Tuesday or Monday of this week, that Speaker Johnson's the most conservative speaker we've ever had, and to get rid of him would be a huge mistake.
I'm not defending Johnson.
Ted Cruz, this is.
But I'm not defending Johnson. What I'm pointing out is that process that we can't afford to go through. So it's like, let's buy the farm with this guy and keep him the straight and narrow, because we can't afford to go 6 months.
All right, more discussion about this. Sports news all coming up. Hour 2, live from Studio 6B. mean, the thing about it, though, is that if we actually had someone to rally around, it wouldn't have to be this long, drawn-out process. They could win on one vote. But who's that person? I don't know.
My point exactly. These are the things that I see as obstacles that ultimately are going to hurt us all, even though we're not crazy about this guy. Because there's no standout that everybody's going to vote for. If there were, I would never even raise the point. I'd be like, get rid of him and put someone in that's going to follow, the agenda here.
Yeah. I think that's why I think that's part of what Cruz said what he said. Because he knows with the numbers we have in the makeup of the party right now, it's still so many lamos in there.
Yeah.
That there is going to be nobody, and we're going to end up in that same kind of deal.
There's no one there, and the fact that Trump hasn't said anything says everything regarding Johnson.
Well, Trump's run cover for Johnson. I mean, I've just been screaming about it forever. It drives me crazy.
He probably sees the same thing, though. He's like, look, if I don't run cover for this guy, but I got to straighten him out, too. But at the end of the day, I saw what happened. It was a joke. The last round of stuff that happened with the speaker. So they have to consolidate here. There's no option, frankly. They have to. These rhinos need to be removed somehow, but we have them. We have to deal with them.
Yep.
I mean, we can't just get rid of them. We can vote them out, but you got these rhinos in there, and we got to deal with them. We got to get them on our page. Can't stand any of them, honestly. It's like you have a board of directors, and there's some that just, are lame, but you need their vote. Trump's got to be super strong here.
He does. It's going to be interesting. Three weeks, right?
Someone said Tim Burchett would be a good choice. He might be. I don't know. Could he get to 218? What are the actual numbers in the House? What do the Republicans have? 220?
It's 220, but we got 3 that are dropping out. So it's really 217, 215.
Hour 2, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, Real America's Voice, live from Studio 6B on December 26th, Thursday. Glad you're in, 9 p.m. Slick Rick's doing sports. We got a game going on. We're going to get it caught up on that game and sports here in a little bit. Rick Delgado's got the news. Vinnie Mac's got some news as well. Glad you're in. You're on social media. Make sure you follow us at LFS6B on all of our social media platforms. Of course, follow Real America's Voice at Real AM Voice. Whether it's YouTube, X, wherever you're watching, we're on pretty much everything at LFS6B is where you find us. Of course, head over to livefromstudio6b.com as well. Make sure you sign up to be a member. If you have a Facebook or Google account, you can do it really, really simple. Livefromstudio6b.com. Lots to do in hour 2. Glad you're in. So let's talk about Vivek Ramaswamy today and what he said and the crazy back and forth that's happened on social media, on X, where all of these back and forths are going to happen, where the open discussion is going to happen. And I saw Caitlin Collins, or somebody put out something that said Caitlin Collins tonight is going to focus her show on the divide within MAGA about Vivek Ramaswamy and the H-1B and whatever visas. So the left, of course, can't even understand discussions like this within the party. This is like almost like it's just too much democracy for them to even they can't even understand it. Because there's nobody who falls out of line or doesn't toe the company line, especially when something would come from essentially Schumer or Pelosi or Sanders or any of them. None of them ever fell out of line. There's no discussions. The iron fist of top-down government came down and smacked you right where you know where and said, you'll just do what you're told. Well, it doesn't necessarily happen on our side. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but most of the time it's good. So here's what happened today. And I'll just go to what I think is probably the best take on it, which was over at Right Scoop. And they said there's a raging debate on X right now about the H-1B visas, and Vivek Ramaswamy is getting slammed for suggesting American culture is bad and thus can't produce high-level talent that top tech companies would want. And so here's what he said. Here's what Vivek said. He said, the reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over native Americans isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit, a lazy and wrong explanation. A key part of it comes down to the C word, that is culture. Tough questions demand tough answers, and if we're really serious about fixing the problem, we have to confront the truth. Our American culture, he says, has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the 1990s and likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts very young. A culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World or Zach and Slater over Screech in Saved by the Bell or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters will not produce the best engineers. Fact, I know multiple sets of immigrant parents in the 90s who actively limited how much their kids could watch those TV shows precisely because they promoted mediocrity. And their kids went on to become wildly successful STEM graduates. More movies like Whiplash, fewer reruns of Friends. More math tutoring, fewer sleepovers. More weekend science competitions, fewer Saturday morning cartoons. More books, less TV, more creating, less chillin', more extracurriculars, less hanging out at the mall. Most normal American parents look skeptically at those kinds of parents. More normal American kids view those kinds of kids with scorn. If you grow up aspiring to normalcy, normalcy is what you will achieve. Now close your eyes and visualize which families you knew in the 90s or even now who raised their kids according to one model or the other. Be brutally honest. Normalcy doesn't cut it in a hyper-competitive global market for technical talent. And if we pretend like it does, we'll have our asses handed to us by China. This can be our Sputnik moment. We've awakened from a slumber before, and we can do it again. Trump's election hopefully marks the beginning of a new golden era in America, but only if our culture fully wakes up. A culture that once again prioritizes achievement over normalcy, excellence over mediocrity, nerdiness over conformity, hard work over laziness. That's the work we have cut out for us rather than wallowing in victimhood and just wishing or legislating alternatives, hiring practices into existence. I'm confident we can do it. So that's what he tweeted. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. So, Delgado, do you have any first reaction to what he actually said before I get to the reaction and the points that people have brought up all day long?
I feel like I've been sitting in Coming to America as one of the characters from that were played. He ain't lying. Hello. I mean, he's right. He's dead on right. Unfortunately, our culture celebrates, the fluff, the good looking, the super athletic in high school. People that peak in high school, you're gonna have problems. But it doesn't celebrate, the books and the learning and the math and all that. It just doesn't. Unfortunately, I know we used to. But then the culture became, you gravitated towards, more TV and, TV taking care of the kids. And, you got to entertain them. And what's entertaining is stupid stuff that keeps people entertained. When it comes to, like I'm saying, with the tech side and people wanting to emulate They want to emulate things that are cool. And unfortunately, most people are followers, right? They follow the cool kid. What's the cool kid good? Okay, so they follow that. If the cool kid was the math geek or the science geek or the engineer who's going to build the next Terminator robot that's going to destroy the world, they would follow that and more people would do it. Unfortunately, we're also the culture of everybody gets a trophy. So let's celebrate mediocrity. Oh, you showed up, you should get a trophy. I mean, that's the bigger problem, is that we're not expecting anything from people. If you just show up, look at the Biden administration. How many freaks of nature did they bring into the government just because? Not because they earned it, not because they were any good at anything, just because. That's it. And he's pointing it out, but he also says there's a chance for us to rewrite the ship, but we have to get on it. So that's what I took from that. And for Nikki Haley to come out and say, all you have to do is look at the border and see how many people want to get here. Those aren't engineers that are running across the border, you dope. Those are criminals. They're breaking the law. Engineers generally don't like to break the law because they want to be, they want to ascend up the ladder. And you can't really ascend up the ladder to be a great engineer and control companies and come up with great tech if you're running from the law. So, Nikki Haley, you're a dope.
Okay.
But don't get me started.
Yeah.
Well, so of course, what Vivek is referring to, what most people think he's referring to here, because Trump just hired some guy to be in charge of AI, just appointed this guy, I guess, this week.
Right.
One of the first things he says he wants to do is he wants to get rid of all the ceilings, all the limits on how many H-1B visas that can be given out. Mm-hmm. And Trump, of course, had talked about stapling a green card to every college graduate. So this huge expansion of immigration through green cards and how these have been abused. So the argument for most people when reading this from him today was, well, wait a minute. You're saying America only can be great or got great in 1990 when this came in through the Immigration Act of 1990 and has been outwardly abused, this program of giving out these visas. So we went to the moon. We did all these things way before this. There was no greatness in America. So Bonchief says this is total nonsense. America has always celebrated the jock over the valedictorian and promoted the Zach and Slaters of society. Yet we built the A-bomb. We went to the moon. We made the most advanced society in history. Tech companies want cheap labor. It's not about talent. John Cardillo, this is one of the more offensive things I've ever read. Americans are not mediocre. India is a filthy third world hellscape. If it's so exceptional, why doesn't its tech talent want to stay there? Mike Cernovich, the Woodstock generation managed to build out aerospace. The one before went to the moon. America was doing great. Underlying your post is that we're all living in a squalor until being rescued by H-1Bs in 1990. Then why did everybody want to come here? Ryan Gerdowski says it really has nothing to do with what TV shows middle-aged people watched 30 years ago. We have an ample amount of lawsuits proving that major corporations discriminated against Americans and wouldn't hire them. Jeremy Redfern, American culture is good, actually. Bringing in massive numbers of people for cheap labor is actually what's bad. This idea of mass immigration, whether it's illegal or legal, or just mass immigration through the legal process of green cards, that is not conducive to assimilating people into American society. Mark Levin says, and what do we, the people, want? We want our borders secure. And let me go even further. Let me make it absolutely clear to every foreigner outside this country. This country belongs to us. It doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to the 7 billion other people all over the world. You see, the way it's supposed to work is we decide who gets to come here. We decide the standards. We decide the requirements. We want to know who you are. We want to know what you're going to do. Contribute to the society, not take from the society. You see, because I want to make it clear to the left, to the media, and to even some other Republicans and even some TV and radio hosts, there's nothing compassionate about the downfall of America. There's nothing compassionate about the hollowing out of the society. There's nothing compassionate about bankrupting the children, grandchildren, destroying the school system, destroying local law enforcement, hospitals, what's been built up for 200 years. It's one thing to export our viewpoints, our economic ideas, our governing ideas. It's quite another to import the views, the culture, and the destitution of the third world. Because that is national suicide. And any thinking person who is not playing politics, who's not a demagogue, who's not a propagandist, any thinking person, regardless of party, ethnicity, or anything else, knows that that's right. This isn't about voting as far as I'm concerned. This isn't about pandering to a group or to that group or this group. This is about preserving what's left of the republic. And the idea being we let way too many people legally in. The idea that we need to expand the legal immigration is absurd at this point.
Right. I hear all this, and I look at three things. So your point about the green card thing, totally get that. I'm on board. But three things. Number one, everybody wants to come here because this is the greatest country in the world.
No doubt.
Despite any of the flaws we might have, we are 1,000,000 times better than anywhere else to be in the world. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to all points here, but...
Yeah, well, we got plenty of time. We'll come back and get to all your points. We'll do sports first, and we'll get back onto this topic for the rest of the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night.
So much to unpack on that whole thing. But I think your original point's the best one, which is it's a great debate. Like, let's talk about this. Let's have these conversations, whether you like it or not.
I mean, the idea that America wasn't great until 1990, though, is the biggest flaw in this whole
ridiculous.
argument.
Of course,
it's absurd.
Of course it is.
Statement. It's absurd.
Nuts.
And then he throws in a couple little things that obviously are undeniable. The school system is obviously, duh. Vivek, what I read.
I'm being told that the clock behind me is been at the same time the whole show.
Well, it's right twice a day. What do you want?
Right,
Right twice a day, exactly.
That's something going for
Yeah,
it.
there's a level of accuracy here.
It's kind of like our show.
It's called it's right. Yeah, it's right twice an hour. Right once an hour, twice.
They busted us.
It's right 2 out of 24 times. So it's very impressive statistics we have here.
Oh, man.
Delgado, hope your boxer is doing better. Lurch
he's doing
says, "How's your dog?" Good?
No seizures since he went on medication.
Happy to hear that.
That's
good to
good.
hear.
Very happy about that.
Oh.
And now we're setting up his spa day. He's got a spa day coming up.
Oh, does he?
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
He's very famous when he walks into the pet place. Come out, they greet him. He gets the full spa
They
treatment.
look at you and they say, "What are you doing with him?"
Which one's here for the spa day? They say.
I could use my nails cut.
Delgado, he's usually barking up the wrong tree.
I know it's not as good as the spa day, but you have 3 reads a night.
Oh, you're
Nice.
Come on.
Come on, you haven't had any reads in a week.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Come on.
Why would he kid?
Is that right here?
I mean, that's a relative question.
No, I mean it's 20 after. Yeah, I'm losing track of what segment it is. Oh my lord! All right, I haven't even looked for these.
All right. Yep. Just made Damon's day.
Yeah.
Nothing like a couple of reads to keep things going. But I'm going to fix that clock. So it's right more than twice every 24 hours.
Get up and move it each segment.
Yeah, I should move it.
We'll give it a 10-minute move, a 12-minute move.
Do it manually.
CBG.
Actually, that'd be a good job for Harry. Harry? He can just sit back there and move the clock.
You're the clock mover.
HR.
Just move the big hand.
CBG right around. Okay.
Thank you. It's important.
got post-Christmas blues, which means I'm going to talk to you about our friends over at Pure Health Research. The new year is coming. If you're looking to feel your best in 2025, you have to check out Pure Health Research. They have 45 premium health supplements designed to help you with almost every wellness goal that you'll have going into the new year, whether it's boosting your energy, trimming belly fat, supporting healthy blood sugar, or even reducing swelling. Pure Health Research has you covered. Each formula is crafted with natural, non-GMO ingredients backed by clinical research, made right here in the good old U.S. of A. And here's the best part. Pure Health Research is offering you an exclusive 50% discount for the next 48 hours. Just go to purehealthresearch.com. That's purehealthresearch.com and use coupon code VOICE at checkout. With their 365-day money-back guarantee, there's zero risk in trying something new, so why wait? Head over to purehealthresearch.com now. Explore their 45 amazing supplements and save 50% before this deal ends with promo code 6B. Don't miss a chance to start the year feeling your best. purehealthresearch.com. Head there now, purehealthresearch.com. Promo code 6B. Save 50%. Well, it's a new day in America and a new administration in Washington, D.C. There's a lot of excitement and optimism around the future, but the reality is there's still a lot of work to do, especially when it comes to fixing our broken healthcare system. The truth is that the forces that are responsible for breaking our healthcare system aren't going to go away simply. The challenges our system faces won't disappear overnight. Now more than ever, you need to be prepared. That's, of course, where our friends at the Wellness Company come in. Their doctors are medical professionals that you can trust, and their line of prescription medical kits are the gold standard when it comes to keeping you safe and healthy. Whether it's the medical emergency kit, the contagion kit, the first aid kit, or the travel kit, these prescription kits contain an assortment of life-saving medications and guidebooks to assist in the proper use of all your medications, from the flu to strep throat, from COVID to bird flu, from a trip to the beach to a trip overseas. The Wellness Company has a prescription kit designed to keep you and your family safe. Make America healthy again starts at home. Do your part, protect your health for you and for your family. Go to twc.health/voice, twc.health/voice today in order. That's twc.health/voice. Use promo code VOICE to save an additional 10%. Well, increased tariffs on our trade partners, tax cuts, and regulation changes. Learn why gold is a viable diversification tactic now more than ever. Birch Gold, the only gold company that you should trust, is releasing their ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era with a foreword written by Donald Trump Jr. Get your free copy along with Birch Gold's free information kit on gold. Text the word America to the number 989898. Here are the facts. The national debt continues to increase. The interest payments on the national debt continue to increase. Gold is still your hedge against a weakened dollar. And Birch Gold is still the company that you should trust to help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Text America to the number 989898 for your free copy of the ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era. There's no obligation, only information. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, countless 5-star reviews, thousands of satisfied customers. You too can trust Birch Gold. Text America to the number 989898 and do it today. All the blues. Good timing. 21 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you're going to shop at MyPillow. And here with that is the Slickster. Slick Rick's got it. What's going on, Slick?
All right, Big D, update on that Thursday night football game right now in Chicago. Real defensive struggle. Tied at 3. Chicago just kicked a long field goal to tie the score, and not much traction. Both Geno Smith and Caleb Williams kind of, just hitting the ball a little bit there, but not a lot of yardage, not a lot of runs, and it's 3-3 3 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. And I got to get those 4 points, otherwise we're not going to cover, Aaron. And you talk about a wild game with a lot of action going on. How about the Game Above Sports Bowl that wrapped up about 2 hours ago? Toledo, and you talk about holy Toledo, 48-46 over Pitt, 6 overtimes, Big D, which is a bowl record. We had Tucker Gleason, the quarterback. He ran for 1 and threw for 4 touchdowns, 5 scores in 6 overtimes. What an incredible game. Incredible bowl game. So, wow, just a bowl action heating up as well. Right now, Arkansas State just underway, leading Bowling Green 3-0. That'd be in the 68 Ventures Bowl, 9 to go there in the first. And earlier today, just a little while ago, I should say, Kansas State 44-41 over Rutgers. I would have pulled for Rutgers. And that was in the Rake Bowl that just went final as well. So again, 3-3, 1:59 to go there in the Thursday night football game. Just want to, do a little, speak a little bit about 2 passings that happened over the last few days. The great Ricky Henderson, Major League Baseball Hall of Famer, one of the best to do it. Oakland A's, New York Yankees, played with the Mets as well, Dodgers. What a great player he was. Passed away of pneumonia just days short of would have been his 66th birthday. Christmas Day was his birthday, and he passed away just a couple of days before that. Apparently complications from pneumonia, his family said. Awfully young man.
What a great player, huh?
Yeah. One of the best to do it. Wow, right? Well, old-time steal record there he had. He was incredible. He was the fastest guy, one of the fastest guys I've ever seen. Hit the ball all over the place. I know, Rick, you enjoyed him on the Yankees. Of course, he had his best days, I think, with Oakland, but what an incredible ball player he was. And then another great one, the Philadelphia Eagles lost one of their best defensive players of all time, linebacker Bill Bergey, after a 3-year-long battle of cancer, passed away at the age of 79 years old. Bergey also a Hall of Famer in the NFL Hall of Fame. And I tell you, he was a thorn in my side as a kid because he was unbelievable when what he would do to my Dallas Cowboys and how he'd stop Tony Dorsett and Roger Staubach and Danny White. He was one of the best to ever do it. So very sad story in the sports world. And you always hear these things around the holidays, which is a shame. And just one more quick story.
Speaking of Christmas, by the way, and people who have passed, happy birthday to the late, great Jimmy Buffett, whose birthday, of course, was on Christmas Day.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. That song Christmas Island, right?
Jimmy Buffett was would have been only what? I forget how old was he when he died? Still young, 70 something, I think. 78, 77.
He was still torn.
Oh,
and
yeah,
rocking,
you're right.
man.
No, he was probably 20 years older than we are.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan reveals reason why Conor McGregor may never fight again. Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. Joe Rogan remains unconvinced that UFC legend Conor McGregor will ever fight again, and he believes the Irishman's hard partying lifestyle may keep him out of the octagon. It's been over 3 years since Rogan sat on the octagon floor at UFC 264 to interview a defeated and horribly injured Conor McGregor after his loss to Dustin Poirier. That fight in July of 2021 was the last time McGregor fought in the UFC. Dana White scheduled McGregor to fight Michael Chandler in June, and even had the 2 service coaches on the reality show The Ultimate Fighter typed event. However, McGregor broke his toe during training, and the fight never occurred. And what he was saying, what Rogan was saying, is that he's had these court cases, Big D, where he was even talking about use of cocaine and heavy partying. Now we know there's a big Logan Paul fight that's supposed to come up in India sometime, I guess sometime in 2025, but we don't know if going to happen. So Joe Rogan, he seems to be in the know on a lot of these things. One of the best in the UFC. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, he probably made the UFC somewhat, him and Dana White together. They've just been incredible.
He was great. Exciting fighter.
Right, man. Vin, I know you had some experience with them, right?
Oh, yeah. And, great fighter.
Just incredible. So, we'll see. It's very interesting to see Conor McGregor, Big D, if he ever gets back into the ring. And that Logan Paul fight could be a hot mess. And that's a wrap in sports, Big D. Back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. We'll do some more sports before we wrap the show. Live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night. We'll get back into the Vivek discussion when we get back right after this.
My doctor is watching tonight. My
Is he?
doctor, Andrew, is my
Really?
doctor. Yep. He told me I'm the only patient that the anesthesiologist ever had to tell to shut up, because usually they can't get you to talk and you count backwards. I was pitching something to the guy. I don't know what, while he's knocking me out. I had hernia surgery.
Oh, man.
He's an amazing young doctor, Andrew.
Moon River.
Oh, yeah.
Wider than a mile.
You got the whole fist in there, Doc. Yes.
Hey, Doc, you ever do time?
So you're
I'm going to leave that one right where it is.
My doctor's watching.
Yes.
My doctor's watching. Wants to make sure I'm healthy. I saw him yesterday,
Nice.
I believe.
Wow.
Stopped by his house. I'm good friends with his dad, friend Greg, who actually pointed out the clock. Thank you. And his other son, Steven. You remember those songs that I recorded and wrote? I ever send them to you? I wrote these songs, and I went to the studio. His son has, Steven has a studio, and boy, he turned them into like something real. I mean, they sound great. Very talented family.
Hi, Doc.
So I got a lot of patience here for you, by the way. If it's
Doc,
business
we'd
is
like
slow.
to we'd like to have you on a little show when Vin's not on and
Yeah.
discuss
So-
Vin on the show with you.
Yes, you could tell us the real
You
story.
could tell us what's going on up there.
Right.
We would appreciate it.
He's seen everything.
Yep.
Really? Sorry.
Yeah,
That's probably a little too much that he'd
might,
like to admit.
yeah,
Yep.
be a little shell shocked from it, but it's all good.
Yeesh.
Man, I'm just staying out of this whole thing. I'll just go off the wrong path with this.
That really shouldn't be there. Has he ever said that to you?
You shouldn't be here. I only go for extreme things. I'm not a big doctor guy.
No, I'm not either. I mean, I do go for checkups.
I've had
You
a
have
few
to.
surgeries and gone.
My grandfather never went to the doctor. Never went to the doctor.
I got my grandparents too, like that too.
He it was funny because my cousin married a surgeon and she was also a doctor.
Is this the one
She's-
you just made leave the party?
No. They're cool. They live in another state. They hang around me no matter what. They don't care.
Rick, I'm here. Cough, please. Cough. Yes.
So the story was one Christmas before he passed, he had
Are
a
those your
growth.
walnuts or mine?
he had a growth on his arm, and one of them said, we should probably take a look at that. You come see me, and he's like, no, that's all right. He cut it off himself.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night. Glad you're in. Vinny Max here, Rick Delgado, Slick Rick, Aaron and Fran holding it down. Hope you all had a great couple days off. So we were talking about the Vivek Ramaswamy comments today, and in the post he put up about H-1B visas, and of course saying that somehow America was mediocre and that we can't hire, we're not competing, or whatever. I mean, I read it, so you get the idea of what he said, and the pushback on it has been pretty much throughout the day. I really, if I'm being honest, and of course I can't get to everything on Twitter. I get stuff that's fed to me, but the stuff I've read, it's been hard to find anybody who has, said anything even close to, Vivek is right on the money here.
Rick did.
I did. He's not wrong. It's not like it's like not acknowledging, oh, by the way, you have a flat tire. That's why your car's doing that. It's like, just keep driving. Like, no, we have a flat tire. We should stop and fix the tire. And I think that's what he's pointing out.
Well, most people think he is wrong.
But he's not. We have a culture that celebrates the superficial as opposed to, like he says in that article, what you read, instead of celebrating the engineers and the mathematicians and the people that we would rely on, we don't celebrate teachers. We celebrate people who put balls in hoops, right?
Yes.
Maybe if we change that thinking a little bit.
I don't think that's exactly the point. I think the point he's trying to make is he's trying to explain why we have to extend this.
Right.
Right.
Well, you're talking about the H-1B. I'm talking about the critique.
But the critique
culture.
One is the symptom.
His mediocre critique is one thing he's creating, and
Right.
he's saying we need to keep these people coming in because we're not providing them here. That's one of the big things he's trying to say.
So let me give you an alternate take. One of the many, like I said, I couldn't find any that said, "Oh yeah, right on, good job." Jeremy Carl over at the Daily Wire. I think he used to be at the Daily Wire, maybe not, but now he's over at he's a senior fellowist at Claremont Institute. Former researcher at the Hoover Institute, U.S. Department Associated Secretary of the Interior. He said, this is a revealing take from Vivek, and probably, judging from the other comments from others on X and my own extensive personal experience with Indian Americans in Silicon Valley, fairly representative. Before I get into why it's a fundamentally wrong in its most important particulars, let me give it some limited due. Yes, the most talented American kids probably need to work harder academically. Know that. Our public school system, especially and generally, is a disaster. We know that, which I can say with confidence, having 5 kids currently, in it. We need to fix it, and universal school choice will do a lot to help get us there. However, having competed successfully with the top of the talent stack, my wife and I have 5 top-tier Ivy League degrees between us, and having seen what that looks like up close and made the choice to largely opt out for our own 5 kids, I think Vivek seems to have a misapprehension about the roots of American success. I knew lots of parents who made their kids grind, quote unquote, and yes, I did look down on them and did not aspire for that for my own kids. I did this for many reasons. First, I saw the massive burnout among such kids. Even the successful ones who I went to school with. I didn't want that to happen to my kids. A career is an important part of most people's lives, but it is not, with rare exceptions, life itself. And you don't need to train most people, even at the top of your talent stack, to be those rare exceptions. Secondly, countries that push children to these kinds of extremes, like South Korea and China and India, have miserable kids and collapsing fertility. And the next generation is ultimately what we're all playing for. Third, the elite culture of these countries, including India, where I have lived, often encourages ruthlessness, lack of ethics, and rampant cheating in a desperate quest to get ahead. This ultimately bleeds over to the professional world, where IP theft and research fraud from countries like China is rampant. Of course, we're not perfect in this regard either, but we're a heck of a lot better than our competition, and it's a key comparative advantage for America. Fourth, I don't think the kind of training that Vivek seems to aspire to has created the dynamic that powered success in Silicon Valley or anywhere else in America. Yes, some of the people from grind culture played useful technical roles, but these companies were often founded by brilliant dropouts. Not the guy who always listened to the teacher, studied 8 hours a day, and did the number 1 best on the test. America's willingness to embrace dynamicism and risk, to have a society in which the rule of law is honored, though Democrats have badly eroded this, and our unique culture, ultimately derived from Europe but strengthened with our own unique pioneering American qualities, has made us so successful. It is why far more people want to come here than anywhere else, and why our tech companies are far more successful than those anywhere else. And this was true before we had mass H-1Bs in 1990. And I'm confident it will be true after we shut the door on this ill-advised policy. What Vivek is proposing, however sincerely intentioned, would destroy the things that have actually made America great. Vin, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah. First off, this guy, he said, I was almost like as if I wrote that, because I've lived that. I've lived the overachieveritis within school systems. And I used to impress upon my daughter that you don't have to take all these advanced classes, be a kid, but, getting a good education too. So there's a balance to that. We have great schools here and wonderfully educated kids, but sometimes we take it too far. And I think that's a part of what he was saying. But to put it down to like 4 basic points. 1, this is the greatest country in the world. And of course, everybody wants to come here. That's why floods of people want to come here all the time, and all these workers want to come here. We got the jobs, and we've got a great country. 2, we invented just about everything. The idea of pioneering that was brought up in this article, it's so true. We have pioneered and invented so many world-renowned businesses in this country. Why do you think the Chinese want to steal all of our ideas? I mean, this is why they're trying to steal all our stuff. They can't create anything. We create so much here. We are the pioneers of the world, bar none. 3rd point is the Kardashians and Jake Paul. Yeah, we've dumbed it down. The people that our youth are idolizing are the Kardashians and Jake Paul and influencers and all that. Yeah, and I bet you my parents probably said the same thing about people I was idolizing. Peter Frampton, Evel Knievel, right? You guys remember Evel Knievel?
Of course.
Of course.
There was
Snake
plenty
River
in my
Canyon.
generation, and in my parents' generation, Elvis and others. You know, there were people that their parents probably looked really down upon. So, you know what? This is just typical of how societies run. But the idea of mediocrity that Rick was bringing up, I also completely agree with that. We have overachieveritis on one side, and then the acceptance of mediocrity and trophies for everyone, as Rick had said, and the fact that you don't need to, be challenged, and you can fail, and all of these things that you need to learn in life. Now, that's a new sort of thing in this last generation or two. I can only speak for my generation, where you were on your own in a sense. If you played a sport, you won or lost. End of story. If you were in school, you got good grades, you got bad grades. There was no really in between, in a sense. So there's a lot of pieces to unpack here. Right. At the end of the day, where I think Vivek overstepped was exactly what this gentleman was saying, that we have great people here. We have the tools. We don't need to expand this program. What we do need to do, however, is perhaps improve our mass education system. I was brought up in a very good school system. My daughter was brought up in a very school system. Your kids are in a great school system. The rest of schools around the country, and there's plenty of them that just aren't good. And parents don't have the right choices, and they want to get their kids better education. So we have a large part of the population not benefiting from what probably our kids benefited from. And this gentleman who wrote the article, who went to Ivy League schools and got all these degrees, I mean, he had the benefit of those things. So, a lot of kids can't get that and break out. And the last point that someone brought up here, or maybe he brought it up, that, I think he brought it up, our most successful business owners were dropouts. I mean, that's what we're made of here. We're made of innovation. That's what this country is really all about. So Vivek went too far here. The only point that I agree with that he brought up was this mediocrity thing and the acceptance of it. All these other iconic cartoon characters and others he was pointing to. I love Speed Racer. I mean, I love, Felix the Cat. I love the cartoons when I was a kid. And these shows, we all had that. It's this not unusual in today's. The only thing that's different are maybe the Kardashian and the Jake Paul phenomenon. But I think I would equate that to some of the names that I already laid out, Evel Knievel and others that we had in our generation.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think too many people, we saw those as cool. Oh yeah, cool. I'm into Evel Knievel, or I'm into watching this show, and that's where it ended. I'm sorry, but with the social media part of it, where people are just following, and you see it, and you see kids on their phone just troll, just scroll. It's like, you're not doing anything. They're wasting a lot of time, and that's one thing they will never get back. And that's the biggest issue. And again, the H1, the visa thing, I agree. You don't have to expand it. Just make sure you get the best of the best, because that's all we want. That's base it on merit. Yep. Kind of like what Trump talks about all the time, is a system based on merit, which is the way we should be. Only the best ones get those things, and that's it. And there's a limited number. If you don't qualify, sorry, try again next year. That's the way it works.
Well, the real question, the real possible issue here is Trump really more aligned with Vivek's, I guess, seemingly new outlook on H-1B visas? Because Vivek, back when he was a presidential candidate, did not hold this view. I'm reminded of an article in Politico from when Vivek was running for president, as a candidate. And he said he wanted to, quote unquote, gut the system for H-1B temporary work visas if he was to win the White House. It's the very system he used in the past to hire highly skilled foreign-born workers for the pharma company that he built much of his wealth from. But the headline in Politico from back then, this is 2023, I guess it was, in September, Ramaswamy wants to end the H-1B visa program that he used 29 times. The GOP candidate pledges to get rid of the system he calls indentured servitude. Bad for everybody involved, he said. The lottery system needs to be replaced by an actual meritocracy admission. It's a form of indentured servitude that only accrues to the benefit of the company that sponsored the H-1B immigrant. I'll gut it, he said in a statement, adding the U.S. needs to eliminate chain-based migration. People who come as a family member are not the meritocracy immigrants who make skill-based contributions to the country. So you look at what he said today, you look at what he said back then.
Yep.
Which one does Trump align with? That's going to be the question. Green cards on every college degree aligns with Vivek of today. Not good.
Six to 3 at the half. It's amazing.
Over the past year, native-born workers have lost 773,000 jobs on net, while foreign-born workers have gained more than 1 million jobs. Since before the pandemic, the foreign-born workforce has grown by 3.7 million, while native-born workforce shrunk by 873,000.
That's a huge number.
These numbers challenge the narrative that America needs more foreign labor. On what planet do people think we don't have enough record immigration?
Yeah.
It's a mental illness if you think that at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, those stats are worth noting.
It depends. Depends on what those stats actually say. Like, foreign workers, are they illegal foreign workers? Because we know...
These are the green carders.
Is that what that said?
I would assume those are the green carders.
I don't know if that's true, because I think that was one of the big issues was, during the last 3 or 4 years is we've seen Americans lose jobs and immigrants get jobs. Where the immigrants go? They're illegal.
Yeah.
There you go.
A lot of people talking about the old shop class and at school. I think we all had that. And the vocations that are no longer, those vacation schools that are.
My son's doing it now. My son was taking some period 1 when he started the year. He was taking some math that he didn't need. I don't know, who the hell knows what it was.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's impossible, and I don't need this. Why am I doing this? I'm like, yeah, why are you doing that? Let's go find. So you know what he's doing? He's doing woodworking.
Great.
Cool.
And he loves it.
I wish I knew more about a lot of this
He made my wife a cutting board for Christmas that is so
nice.
beautiful.
Wow. I remember doing that stuff, though. It was regular for me. Was it in your school, too? We had metal shop, wood shop,
metal shop,
automotive.
wood shop, auto.
Yeah.
Those are the types of things. Those are fundamental things. I mean, people drive cars. They build things. They're electricians, plumbers, all that stuff. Forget about the people coming from other countries here to work. But I think you got it right, Damon, on this one, for sure.
You looked at your games for tomorrow, Slick?
No.
You haven't looked yet?
No, not yet. Boy, it's tomorrow night.
I know.
How many? What are we picking? 4 or more?
5.
5. Okay.
right, 13th of the hour, live from Studio 6B. Man, the show absolutely flew by tonight, talking about some of these stuff. But tomorrow night, we're back, 8 to 10. We'll only be on Real America's Voice tomorrow from 8 to 9. 9 to 10 will be exclusively on our socials. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And if you want to see the odds, the big, huge odds makers, the return to Farmer Brook.
Yeah.
To the odds makers tomorrow night, you'll have to be watching on our socials
Friend of the show.
At LFS6B, YouTube, X, Rumble. I don't know what's going to be on Real America's Voice, but I was informed today that it will not be us from 9 to 10. So we'll be on 8 to 9 and then 9 to 10 on all socials. Farmer Brook and the odds makers will be at 9:30 tomorrow night.
That's a lot of plugs he's getting.
And the pressure has to be just woof.
I'm surprised you don't have like one of those big screen size promos. It'd be like Farmer Brook tomorrow.
He did the right thing, calling out 5-0. Look at
Why not?
Look at the coverage he's getting.
Right? This is like Joe Namath guaranteeing Super Bowl III win,
That's
right?
exactly it.
Oh, my
Remember
goodness.
that? Could be.
Like the Babe calling a shot.
That's it. You
Messier.
Oh
know,
my goodness.
Well, the audience is a huge part of the show here. I mean, that's why we do it. So
Marks is everything.
Like
This
Mark
is-
Messier guaranteeing Stanley Cup victory.
Yes.
yes.
sir.
Goes on
So-
and on.
All right, speaking of sports and to odds makers, let's do a little more sports and a little more news with Delgado here before we wrap it up. Slick, what's going on?
All right, getting that Thursday night football update, Big D. Second half has just started. Real defensive struggle in the Chicago, in the midway, Big D. It's 6-3. Seattle kicked the field goal just before time expired in the second quarter. 14 to go there in the third. Bears with the ball on their own 30. And, odds makers are right there. It's a 4-point spread. And the Seahawks are covering by 1. What could possibly happen? We'll see. We'll certainly recap that tomorrow night. I am also looking forward to, you asked me if I looked at my picks. I have not. I've got to look at college football playoffs this weekend. A couple of great pro games as well with
Remember,
playoff
5
implications.
picks.
5 picks it'll be, Big D, and I will have that for you. And also one bowl game in action right now. If you guys want to catch that on the way home, we got the Arkansas State leading Bowling Green 10-7 in the 68 Ventures Bowl. The names they come up with these bowls, and mostly sponsors, I know, but it's just, it never ends. And just one quick story. Everybody's talking about the Chiefs looking to three-peat, first team ever to three-peat, win 3 Super Bowls in NFL history, and odds are against the 15-win Chiefs to win a third straight Super Bowl. This is Austin Bundy of Yard Barker. The Kansas City Chiefs, 15-1, appear to be one of the hottest teams in the NFL, and in history, on paper, but that's not necessarily the case. Each win, the team scored less than 3 points, an NFL record, and 11 of those finished with a deficit within 1 score. The 2024 Chiefs appear to be more lucky than good. Well, they say sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right? But as long as they're winning, that's all that currently matters to them. On Wednesday, obviously yesterday, the Chiefs did beat Pittsburgh 29-10, a good Pittsburgh team too that got a good whooping from them. But the 1984 San Francisco 49ers were 15-1, and the 85 Chicago Bears, also 51, were the only squads to pull off the impressive feat of winning the Super Bowl, taking home that Lombardi trophy. But Kansas City, we're going to see what happens with them. I'm not sure. I think certainly Baltimore is going to have a lot to say. They look damn good with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Buffalo will always have something to say. And then, of course, in the big game, I think the Detroit Lions are going to make a good run. But Minnesota and Green Bay are going to have something to say about that as well before the season's over, Big D. But that's a wrap in sports. Can't wait for the odds makers tomorrow night. I'm going to be burning the midnight oil, making my picks tonight, Big D. I'll be ready.
All right, Slick, very good. Odds makers tomorrow night at 9:30. Let's do some more news before we wrap it up. And here with that is Rick Delgado. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, one of our favorite 3-letter agencies is announcing plans to issue automatic payments. Yes, the IRS is going to issue automatic payments to eligible taxpayers who didn't claim their recovery rebate credit on their 2021 tax returns. If this is you, look forward to getting a check. IRS officials announced the move earlier today and said the payments will be made automatically before the end of December. It follows an analysis by the agency that found about 1 million taxpayers didn't claim the pandemic-related credit on their 2021 returns when they were eligible to receive it. According to this from the IRS commissioner, the IRS continues to work hard to make improvements to help taxpayers. Yeah, right. These payments are an example of our commitment to go the extra mile, blah, blah, blah. All right, so there you have it from the IRS. So if that was you, you'll get a check of some size. Hopefully it'll be a good one. And lastly, I don't know if anybody watched the Christmas classic, It's a Wonderful Life, but if you happen to have watched it on Amazon, guess what? You missed a critical scene. believe it or not, the public is coming out because Amazon put out an abridged version of the classic "It's a Wonderful Life."
Are you kidding?
Yeah, that removed its most important scene. According to this, the original version, of course, with George Bailey in the town of Bedford Falls, faces financial crisis that threatens to ruin his business and life. That leads him to contemplating jumping off the nearby bridge. Of course, he meets Clarence,
the angel.
Yes,
of course,
who's waiting for his wings. What happens here is that they basically cut out the big part where he talks about Pottersville, the Pottersville scene. So basically eliminates the Pottersville scene from the movie, and the abridged version basically then jumps to George rushing off to share his newfound happiness with his family and friends. So they left out the entire Pottersville scene
they want to
from the storyline. And it ruins the entire movie because now the story doesn't make sense.
How can they edit a movie like that? Amazon.
A classic.
Ridiculous thing
It's
in our
amazing.
life.
Yeah, they want urban sprawl.
Yeah, one minute Clarence
why.
is telling Bailey he must earn his wings by saving him. The next minute, Bailey is suddenly saved, but that doesn't explain how he got saved. So they cut out that entire part of the movie, and there you go. So if you watched it on Amazon, you got ripped off because they didn't play the right movie.
Instead of wings, they wing dings.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Okay.
So that's a little Christmas fun.
Thank you,
All
Jeff
right.
Bezos.
Very good. Rick Delgado, thank you very much.
30 minutes cut
Vinny
out of the
Mac.
movie.
Yo.
It's the last time we'll see you for the week. Anything else on your mind before we go?
Yeah, the governors like Newsom really stepping it up on a daily basis. It's all I hear about of trying to disrupt Trump's and Tom Homan's move to capture and send back illegal immigrants who are criminals. That's the first wave. These are criminals. These are bad people. They're gang members and criminals. And they're doing everything they can to figure out systems and pouring money. They just got another $25 million Newsom got to put in things to obstruct Tom Homan and Trump's entire effort to eliminate criminals. I can't believe I'm actually reading the things I'm reading. And he's not the only governor in this country that are doing those things. Anyone that lives in these states, by the way, if you're a citizen of these states, you need to rise up. You need to speak out now, because these criminals, by the way, they're hurting you. They're hurting your kid, your family members, innocent people. They're the ones that are the victims here. These governors are just scoring political points by trying to obstruct what Trump is trying to do. And it's not just one governor. It's multiple governors and multiple mayors putting in place plans to do that. And they're speaking openly about it. They're bragging about it. I don't think I've ever seen anything in my life so insulting and so wrong than what I'm seeing here. Now, I understand there's a political issue with immigrants here illegally, by the way, and they're technically criminals. That's a whole nother bucket that's got to get dealt with. But the first ones are criminals. They're bad people. It's the same people, by the way, that brought you. You can steal up to $1,000 if you want. There was a video online with two people that, did you see it, that got caught stealing, and they were like, changed the law, and they were like, well, what do you mean it's a felony now? Oh, wait, I thought I could steal.
Yep.
You give criminals a window, they're gonna take it, right? But these are the same people that brought you those types of policies, so it shouldn't surprise me. But when things are this absurd, they surprise me.
As always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines protecting us. Thanks, guys, on the show. Aaron Friend, great job as always. Most of all, thank you to live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m., right here live from Studio 6B.